Dear participants, dear friends and colleagues, I am truly sorry not to be being with you, but I am on ongoing country mission since more than 1 month, and that will continue until mid-December. As chair of the UN Task Force on Children Deprived of Liberty, I wish to start by expressing my sincere thanks to the NGO panel on Children Deprived of Liberty for taking the lead in convening this discussion at a crucial and timely moment. Let me share some key takeaways. First, many children are still deprived of liberty. Many children are still detained for minor offenses or behaviors that could be resolved and addressed without the need for punitive intervention. Many children are still detained in criminal justice system or held in administrative, preventive, military, or prolonged pre or post-trial detention without the guarantees of due process and in conditions harmful to their health and development. Many children who have been victims of abduction, trafficking, recruitment, and exploitation by criminal networks and armed terrorists and violent extremist groups are still detained, including on national security grounds, and doubled and multiplied victimized. Many children are still deprived of liberty because of their or their parents' migrant status and under policies that criminalize irregular migration. Children belonging to minorities, indigenous children, Afro-descendants, children living and working in street, children with mental disabilities, children living in marginalized neighborhoods are often particularly targeted by criminal justice intervention with higher levels of institutionalization compared to other groups of children. Second, the human and economic cost of deprivation of liberty is high. Children deprived of liberty experience severe and long lasting mental health problems, including increased risk of self harm and suicide. Deprivation of liberty produces poor outcomes for children and has negative consequences that last into adulthood and in the integration in societies. In addition, deprivation of liberty causes high rates of recidivism, family breakdown, and unemployment. This results in higher costs for society in the long term, impacting human, social, and economic development. Third, preventing and ending deprivation of liberty is possible. There is a wealth of experiences across regions on child rights based alternatives to end all forms of children deprivation of liberty. Some of the good progress achieved across regions include raising the minimum age of criminal responsibility, prohibition of status offenses, and establishing child disability and gender sensitive justice that prioritize diversion and alternatives to detention, including for children on the move, as I showed recently in my latest country visit. Research shows that children who are diverted from criminal justice system or participate in alternative programs demonstrate fewer tendencies towards antisocial behavior and significantly lower rates of recidivism compared to other groups and better reintegration. Now is the time to scale up and sustain these practices in all countries and regions to ensure no child is left behind bars. Fourth, child participation is not an option, it is a must. International law stipulates that children have the right to be heard. However, this commitment is not consistently built into justice systems. For example, at all stages of the criminal and civil justice processes, children's views and experiences continue to be poorly heard. They often do not have systematic access to appropriate information, legal advice, or representation. All forms of justice can better meet the rights of children and be more effective if they are informed by children's view and experiences and build on children's effective participation. Fifth, the clock is ticking. 7 years remain to keep our promise by 2030 to end all forms of violence, including deprivation of liberty of children. We need to act better and faster. Deprivation of liberty is one of the most harmful violence against children. Ending deprivation of liberty for all children, independently of their status, cannot wait. On behalf of the UN Task Force, I would like to reaffirm our commitment to continue supporting member states in their efforts to end all forms of deprivation of liberty of children and strengthen rights-based alternatives. In doing so, we will continue to work in close cooperation with the NGO panel, as well as with academia, children and young people, and other stakeholders at global, regional, and national level. Thank you for your attention.